Today's date is 11-23. Today as a writer, I am working on introduction and conclusions. Today I want to teach you that essay writers often use the beginning of an essay as a place to convey to the readers that the idea in the essay are important. The beginning is the place where essayists get readers to care about their ideas and place them in context. I am ready to start writing my introduction, so I've been studying other people's essays and, in particular, looking closely at the way they begin their essays. I've been asking myself, how do essayists introduce topics early? I've learned that essayists do a couple of things when introducing topics clearly. They provide a little bit of background to get the reader's mind revved up and let the reader know that this essay is important. But essayists don't write, "This essay is important, listen up." They want their readers to take them seriously, and so they use a serious tone. Instead of writing, "You should read my essay," they have more formal or serious ways of saying this. I've made a list of some common ways that essayists begin essays. Each of these ways to introduce an essay clearly tells readers the topic, and each way conveys that the essay is important. These are some ways to start an essay. What people need to know is that so many don't know, don't think, don't realize, but I've come to know or think it's important. Sometimes in life, I have found. Sometimes people ask, well, I have found. Be researchers and watch the way I take these phrases and see if they might work for my essay on my father's been my most important teacher. Notice that some work for me, some don't. They never work exactly, so I change the wording around a bit to fit what I want to say. And I often write beginnings that use templates. I usually list a couple of possible introductions and then choose one. Let's look at the list. The first one is what people need to know is that. Who will need to know that my father is my most important teacher? That's a big question. Now that I think about it, who will want to read this essay? Maybe my father? Or people who want to know him? Or parents who need to realize they could be the important teachers for their children? That's the best idea. This is what I came up with. What parents need to know is that the schools their children attend and the teachers they have are nowhere near as important as the education that children receive at home. My father has been my most important teacher. He's taught me to love work, to love writing, and to believe one person can make a difference. I tell her not to worry. What she needs to know is that she and her husband will be her child's most important teachers. You see how I started with the first idea from the chart and wrote a sentence or two about that? Then I added in my claim and my reasons and my thesis. Let me go back to the list. I'll see if this next one can work. I used to think, but now I realize, let's see. I don't want to say I used to think my father wasn't a good teacher because that's not true. How about this one? I used to think that the teachers my children have in school would make or break them. I'd worry frantically if one of them had a teacher who wasn't superb. But I've come to realize that the teacher who matters the most aren't always the official ones children have in school. In my life, my father is my most important teacher. He taught me. Show me with your thumbs. Does that one work as well? Right now, work with your partner to see if one of these starting phrases might work for your essay. Use a lead that shows that this essay is the answer to someone's concerns. If so, try the first lead idea. Talk about who the reader is and how this essay could fit with the reader's questions and concerns. If you think it would be better to start with a "have you ever wondered" question, try that. Try more than one way. Go ahead, turn and talk with your partner. I also want to tell you that the introduction to your essay is not the only place where you will want to convey the importance of your ideas. Essayists use the conclusion of their essays to convey that their ideas are important and to make sure readers will understand the meaning of their essay and why it matters. At the end of essays, writers want their readers to know that they have realized something and now it will act differently, or other people should act differently. One way they do this is by using common phrases or sentence starters to help them. I realize that. This makes me think. I realize that when I feel other people should care about this because this is important because then I'd say my thesis statement is true because this is true. Isn't it also true that? Watch me while I use some of these phrases to help me try out a few endings for my essay. Then you'll have a chance to try out some endings for your essay. So I want to show that my ideas are important and that I have realized something and will act differently. Let me try using I realize that. I realize that parents have a big responsibility. They are important teachers for their children even when they may not realize they are teaching. This makes me wonder what my own children will say I have taught them. I hope I have been as good a teacher for them as my father was for me. In a minute, you're going to try this. Right now, to practice, just pick one of the phrases from the chart in your head and try out a possible ending for your essay. Thumbs up when you've done this. Okay, writers, now just choose another phrase and try a different possible ending in your head. Thumbs up when you've done this again. Okay, now think of which possible ending you like better for your essay. Go ahead and turn and share with your partner. Writers, you want to make sure your essay conveys to readers that your ideas are important. Spend the rest of the day making sure that you have done that. You might need to keep trying out introductions and conclusions. Let's get started.